Hello, fellow geeks, and welcome to 100 Days of Horror, in which today we are looking at day 22, Roar from 1981, written and directed by Noel Marshall. Now, before I get into that, as always, I want to mention what 100 Days of Horror is. It's something we here at cityofgeek.com, so head over to that website there, cityofgeek.com. You can find the link below, which myself and many of our other members and friends watch 100 horror films we haven't seen in the 100 days leading up to Halloween. Checking out things that maybe we've missed in the past that we should check out that people are talking about. And we have a Facebook group dedicated to that. You can find that by following the City of Geek link down there, then following the link further. Talk about what you watched, and I'll put it on the website. And we always like to have discussions over things that we're watching, things we recommend, things we're looking at. So I've been trying to do these once a day video reviews. I'm obviously a little behind because this is day 22 for Roar. On today is actually day 30 something. I'm actually ahead in the actual movies, so I'm actually in the 40s there. So it's kind of weird. 20s in videos, 30s in real life, 40s in actual watching. One day things will come out a little bit even, but for right now we're just kind of getting through as needed. This is so. Eventually I will get up to my actual, not YouTube live again. I keep talking about it every time. It's something I'm working on. I hope we have some time this weekend to sit down and fix the issues I'm having with Premiere, and we'll go from there. Today we're talking about 1981's Roar, which is oddly enough billed as a family comedy. The intention for Noel Marshall and Tippi Hedren was a family comedy. That's what they set out to make, as they thought they were making. And ultimately, what was released in 1981 after 11 years of work, including the last 5 years previous as direct work, because the first couple of years are off and on based upon a lot of tragedies that were happening, a lot of issues they were having. When it ultimately came out, it's a very horrific film that's not meant to be a horror film, but when you watch it, you cannot help but be terrified for everyone involved, seeing their terror. Now you're maybe confused of what the hell is Roar. So Roar is a misguided but heartfelt, I said, family adventure in which Noel Marshall and Tippi Hedren, they were married at the time, they were really involved in and she still is involved with animal conservation. So they started at a ranch in Southern California to save large animals from Africa. Animals have been poached a lot, animals that are hunted for game, including various ones that were used in film previous. And they decided to make a movie that would feature several of these large cats, mostly large cats, a couple other things there, elephants and giraffes and other things, and make a movie about a family that has some sort of adventures with these wild cats in their house, where so they can show off these animals and say these are beautiful animals. You shouldn't poach them. Poachers are bad. Protect these animals for being what they are. So they set out to make this movie, and they've had so many issues and people being mauled and people being hurt, people being cut, that it became known in this case as the most dangerous movie ever made. But presented like a comedy. Even the poster that we on top of this says a rip-roaring adventure comedy or what have you to that effect. So this is a misguided but fascinating film in this way. It's almost a perfect B movie. I don't know why it's talked about more and not talked about more in cult circles. I didn't hear about this till I think my friends at the Grave Plot podcast mentioned it in one of the early episodes. So I'm going back and listening to the work of the movie. That has Tippi Hedren and Melanie Griffith, her daughter, fighting off these wildcats. They decided to release them into their home. Up to 150 cats. Start out like 5 in the original idea, into being 150 lions, tigers, panthers, everything, even smaller cats like ocelots and stuff like that, being used to show how majestic these creatures are. But it ended up just them be. The story isn't so. I know I'm going all over the place because there's so much stuff. I do have my notes here. I'm looking at them. I'm going to try and follow these notes, and maybe it'll be a little less crazy. But the heart comes from the right place. The messaging is there, but the actual story comes out a different way. So look at it this way. All right, so I'm going to go over the basic plot, and that will allow me to talk about the actual film a little more in detail. It has a Noel Marshall plays a man who runs a sanctuary in Africa. So it's just Southern California playing Africa in this case, where he has all these cats and this on this house on a river, and he has him and himself as coworkers, and he invites his family to come out and spend the weekend with him. His wife, played by his actual wife, Tippi Hedren,